From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang in review. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday graced the 77th founding anniversary of the Philippine Air Force or PAF at Basa Air Base in Florida Blanca, Pampanga Province, with the theme Accelerating Above and Beyond 77 years of PAF excellence in protecting the nation and securing the skies. The PAF highlights its capabilities as protector of the country's airspace and Exclusive Economic Zone or EEZ, aimed at enhancing its strength, credibility, and sustainability in fulfilling its mandate. During the program, the Commander-in-Chief witnessed a live capability demonstration showcasing the PAF's capabilities to retake territory seized by hostile forces, detect, track, and neutralize enemy aircraft through airstrikes, intelligence reconnaissance and surveillance of the area using unmanned aerial vehicles or UAVs, and troop insertion via Black Hawk helicopters using fast rope insertion and extraction systems. The PAF also displayed the capabilities of newly acquired Ground-Based Air Defense System or GBADS, also known as the Israeli-made Spider Mobile Air Defense System, which enables the Air Force to protect the country's airspace from hostile aircraft. Apart from these, the President also led the presentation of plaques and streamers to 17 awardees, recognizing their exemplary achievements that contributed to the PAF's success in 2024. Let's listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
Thank you to our National Defense Secretary, Gilbert Chodoro, for your kind introduction. Please take your seat. House Speaker, Speaker Martin Romualdez, the National Security Advisor, Secretary Ed Año, the Special Assistant to the President, Secretary Anton Lagdameo, our Armed Forces Chief of Staff, General Romeo Browner Jr., and also all the other major service commanders who are with us today, the officers and members of the Philippine Air Force, led by Commanding Lieutenant General Stephen Pareño, our awarded servicemen and other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am very happy to join the faithful guardians of our aerial domain as we commemorate the 77th founding anniversary of the Philippine Air Force. For over 70 years, our Air Force has soared through the skies as our nation's wings, gallantly embodying the Filipinos' enduring spirit of freedom. On behalf of a grateful nation, I extend my deepest gratitude to the valiant officers and personnel of the Philippine Air Force as ably commanded by Lieutenant General Stephen Pareño. Over the past year, we have made significant steps that complement and boost this administration's vision for a stronger, more capable Air Force. We have increased our maritime domain awareness by regularly conducting maritime patrol missions, monitoring over 400 unknown tracks within the Philippine Air Defense Identification Zone. We have likewise supported internal security operations, which have resulted in the surrender and neutralization of over 250 members of local insurgency groups. We have also heightened our international defense and security engagements by sustaining our talks with our foreign military counterparts and participating in multiple bilateral and multilateral military exercises. This is a testament to our stern resolve to contribute to the global peace and security. In all of these, the selfless women and men of the Air Force have been nothing short of exemplary, especially in your efforts to provide prompt assistance by regularly conducting humanitarian and disaster response operations. Under this administration, we continue to support our armed forces through capability development. Consistent efforts are being done, such as acquiring additional air assets, enhancing cyber warfare communication systems, and pursuing base development programs. We have likewise acquired additional aircraft as well as advanced radar systems, which have transformed our operational readiness and has enhanced our operational reach. Indeed, these assets contribute to an agile Air Force capable of protecting our nation, our people, and our resources, and dedicated to ensure that we are ready to face challenges with advanced precision, speed, and force. As we celebrate another year of service, I extend my sincerest congratulations to this year's awardees for your outstanding performance. As your Commander-in-Chief, I assure you of this administration's support in prioritizing your welfare, ensuring that you are all well attended to in terms of overall health and wellness, so you may perform your duties effectively and safely. Let it be known that your unparalleled dedication and noble duty to our nation are hereby recognized. Together, let us fortify our efforts to build a stronger Air Force and Armed Forces of the Philippines that will serve as an instrument for peace and for unity, a catalyst for nation building and a vanguard of stability. Let us move forward now, guided by the ideals of a bagong Pilipinas, and remain united in our mission to protect our skies, defend our lands, and serve our countrymen. Once again, a happy 77th anniversary to the Philippine Air Force. Mabuhay ang hukbong himpapawid ng Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang Republika ng Pilipinas.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday welcomed Malaysian Foreign Minister Dato Seri Utama Haji Muhammad bin Haji Hassan in Malacañang during the latter's courtesy call. According to the Presidential Communications Office, or PCO, the two leaders discussed the bilateral relations between the Philippines and Malaysia and important regional issues. The President said the Philippines is looking forward to keeping itself in constant communication with Malaysia on current developments. Diplomatic relations between Malaysia and the Philippines started in 1959 with the establishment of the Philippine Legation in Kuala Lumpur. The Philippine Legation was formally instituted as a consulate on May 18, 1964, marking the formal establishment of relations. From the 25th to the 27th of July 2023, President Marcos made his state visit to Malaysia and had an audience with His Majesty Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilya Shah Ibni Al-Marhum Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah Al-Musta in Bila, who was then King Yang de Pertuan Agong the 16th of Malaysia. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim earlier visited the Philippines on March 1st and 2nd last year. The Chief Executive and Ibrahim engaged in cordial and productive discussions on bilateral cooperation spanning politics, security, economy, and people-to-people ties during their restricted and expanded bilateral meetings. Malaysia played an important role in establishing peace in Muslim Mindanao. Over the past several years, the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARM region has made significant strides in building institutions for self-governance in accordance with the Bangsamoro Organic Law or BOL. The region is preparing for its local elections in 2025. There are an estimated 950,043 Filipinos living in Peninsular Malaysia, Sabah, Sarawak, and Labuan, of which 628,450 are estimated to be undocumented and 321,593 are considered temporary migrants, including those on work and visit visas.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Tuesday named Senator Juan Edgardo Saniangara as the next Secretary of the Department of Education or DepEd. The Presidential Communications Office or PCO made the announcement in a social media post Tuesday. Angara will replace Vice President Sara Duterte, who resigned as DepEd Chief on June 19th. The PCO noted Angara's extensive legislative history and his role in significant educational reforms. Angara's notable legislative achievements include the Universal Access to Tertiary Education Act and the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 or K-12. In a separate news release, the PCO said, the President announced Angara's appointment during the 17th Cabinet meeting in Malacañang. Angara holds a Master of Laws from Harvard University, a Bachelor of Laws from the University of the Philippines, and a Bachelor of Science in Economics from the London School of Economics. He also garnered support from key educational organizations, with the Coordinating Council of Private Educational Associations or COCOPEA, and the Philippine Association of College and Universities or PACU, endorsing to the Chief Executive his appointment as new DepEd Chief.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Tuesday approved the 6.352 trillion peso 2025 National Expenditure Program or NEP as presented by Department of Budget and Management or DBM Secretary Amena Pangandaman. This will serve as Congress's basis for the General Appropriations Bill or GAB. Presiding over the 17th Cabinet meeting in Malacañang, the President said, the 2025 NEP reflects the administration's priorities such as food security, social protection, healthcare, housing, disaster resilience, infrastructure, digital connectivity, and energization. The NEP is the national government spending plan for the next fiscal year. Once approved by Congress, it will be known as the GAB and will become the General Appropriations Act or GAA upon signing into law. The sectors getting a big chunk of the proposed budget include education, public works, health, interior and local government, and defense. Other government top priorities are social welfare, agriculture, transportation, the judiciary, and justice sectors. In terms of expense class, getting the largest chunk are maintenance and other operating expenses, followed by personal services, capital outlays, and financial expenses. Among the factors considered by the government in evaluating the fiscal year 2025 budget proposals were the availability of fiscal space, the implementation and readiness of program activity projects, the agency's absorptive capacity, and the alignment with Budget Priorities Framework and Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Tuesday conveyed his good wishes to Pope Francis as he welcomed Vatican Archbishop Paul Gallagher in Malacañang Palace. During their meeting, the President conveyed his good wishes to Pope Francis and highlighted the vibrant diplomatic ties between the Philippines and the Holy See. The diplomatic relations between the Philippines and the Vatican span 73 years since it was established on April 8, 1951. Gallagher, Vatican's Secretary for Relations with States and International Organizations, was accompanied by Archbishop Charles Brown, Apostolic Nuncio to the Philippines, Monsignor Giuseppe Trentadue, Counselor of the Apostolic Nunciature in Manila, and Monsignor Giuseppe Siviero, Secretariat of the State of the Holy See. Gallagher also met with Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo before he paid a courtesy call on the chief executive. Gallagher is set to visit Malaybalay, Bukidnon to participate in the plenary session of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, or CBCP, on July 3rd. The Archbishop will also celebrate Mass with the bishops in the Abbey of the Transfiguration in Malaybalay on July 4th. He will then deliver an address at the Foreign Service Institute, or FSI, of the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, on July 5th. Filipinos in the Vatican are composed of clergies, religious workers, lay professionals, and domestic workers. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle is one of the Filipinos working in the Vatican. He was appointed as the prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples on June 5, 2022.
Dateline Malacañang.
Low-cost airline Cebu Pacific, or CEB, has just made the largest aircraft order in Philippine aviation history, purchasing 152 aircraft from Airbus. In a disclosure on Tuesday, the airline said it signed a memorandum of understanding with Airbus for the aircraft order worth $24 billion or about 1.4 trillion pesos. The Gokongwei-led airline's order is for up to 102 A321neo and 50 A320neo. CEB has also selected Pratt & Whitney GTF engines to power the future aircraft. Meanwhile, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. welcomed CEB's multi-billion-dollar plan to acquire new aircraft from Airbus. The President told CEB officials during their courtesy call in Malacañang Tuesday that their plan is a very good sign for the Philippine economy. CEB Chief Executive Officer Michael Sucks said, "The order is an indication of the company's confidence in the Philippine economy." The CEB officials, led by Lance Gokongwei, President and Chief Executive Officer of JG Summit Holdings Incorporated, which owns Cebu Pacific, informed President Marcos of its investment plans and government support to keep the Philippine aviation industry competitive. Shooks said the company led the domestic airline market with 54% market share, followed by the Philippine Airlines at 29% and AirAsia at 17%. Its first quarter 2024 revenue reached 25.3 billion pesos with total assets at about 200 billion pesos. CEB was awarded Best Airline at the Roots Asia 2024 Awards in February 2024 in recognition of its contributions to airport and destination marketing in the Asia-Pacific region. specifically the resumption of its Clark hub operations and launching of 15 domestic and international destinations in April last year. Currently, CAB flies to 35 domestic and 25 international destinations.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Wednesday ordered a study to determine how the government can provide seamless electronic visa or e-visa transactions for Indian nationals to help boost the country's tourism industry. During a meeting with the Private Sector Advisory Council Tourism Sector Group or PSAC-TSG in Malacañang, the President said the Philippines have no issues with India, so he believes that the Philippines can integrate with their system. Under the current e-visa system, Indian nationals are still required to make a personal appearance before the Philippine Embassy in New Delhi, reducing the efficiency of the Philippine e-visa system. LT Group President and Chief Executive Officer or CEO Lucio Tan, a member of the PSAC-TSG, said e-visa processing for Indian tourists takes around a month, making the Philippines less appealing as their destination. Tan recommended to the chief executive to engage in a third-party service provider that will establish, run, and maintain the e-visa system under the guidance of the relevant government agencies. According to Tan, this will ensure the program is consistently monitored and that any challenges in the process and the system will be immediately addressed. He added that this will likewise streamline the application process and thus generate more applications due to the expedited process. Currently, the e-visa system for Indian nationals is in beta testing, piloted only for walk-in clients of the Philippine Embassy in New Delhi. According to data provided by the PSAC-TSG, Indian nationals frequently visit the Philippines and spend an average of 8 nights, spending $100 per person a day. It added that 78% of Indian nationals stay in hotels and enjoys activities such as shopping, sightseeing, beach holidays, diving, visiting friends and relatives, and investing in business.
Dateline Malacañang.
Continuing the administration's efforts to empower the agricultural sector, promote livelihoods, and strengthen economic stability, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday led the distribution of assistance to farmers, fisherfolk, and their families in a program at the Northwest Samar State University or NWSSU in Calbayog City, Samar Province. The President extended monetary support amounting to 10,000 pesos each to select 10 beneficiaries from the provinces of Samar, Eastern Samar, and Northern Samar, 50 million pesos to the provincial government of Samar, 19.3 million to the provincial government of Eastern Samar, and 25.9 million pesos to the provincial government of Northern Samar. In addition, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, provided 10,000 pesos each to its 8,930 beneficiaries, while the Office of House Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez gave 10 kilos of rice to each event attendee. In his message, the chief executive acknowledged the significant contributions of farmers and fisherfolk to the development of the province and the country as a whole. He also assured the public that the government will work doubly hard to improve their lives and ensure that all necessary assistance will be provided to them. Let us listen to Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s speech during the event.
Sa ating mga minamahal na magsasaka, ngaging isda, kasama ang inyong mga pamilya dito sa Samar, isang taus-pusong pagbati sa inyong lahat. Minamarapat po na ako'y makadalaw ngayon dito upang kumustahin kayo at maghatid ng tulong. Batid ko po na itong nagdaang El Nino, higit sa 3,000 pamilya sa 3 munisipyo ng Samar at Eastern Samar na nadeklara ng state of calamity as dahil sa paglabis na kanilang pagpinsala sa tagtuyot na dala ng El Nino. Dahil po riyan, narito ang inyong pamahalaan na upang iparamdam ang aming suporta sa inyo na walang pagod na nagsisikap upang matiyak na mayroong pagkain sa hapag ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Kayo po na mga magsasaka at mangingisda, kayo po ay ang tunay na bayani ng ating bansa at nararapat lamang na bigyang pugay at suportahan namin ang inyong sipag at ang inyong galing. Kaya naman po, masaya kami maihandog lahat po ito upang mapalakas ang inyong hanay at mapabuti ang inyong kabuhayan. Unang-una, ang BIFAR sa ilalim ng Department of Agriculture, ang BIFAR ay mababahagi ng mga bangkang demotor at sari-saring kagamitan para sa ating mga mangingisda. Bukod pa rito, magbibigay rin tayo ng shallow water payaw system sa ilalim ng Special Area for Agricultural Development o SAAD Phase 2 program. Para naman sa Samar Multipurpose Cooperative, ipagkakatiwala ng DTI sa inyong lahat ang shared service facilities upang magamit ng ating mga dairy farmer sa kanilang paghanap buhay. At upang mapabuti ang kasanayan ng mga Samareño, ang TESDA po ay maghahandog ng starter toolkits sa 50 scholar. Bukod pa rito, maglalaan din ang TESDA ng mahigit 300,000 pisong pondo bilang tinatawag na training support. Nandyan din ang DOLE. Ang DOLE ay magbibigay ng higit 6 na milyong piso sa ilalim ng TUPAD program para sa higit na 1,500 benepisyaryo mula sa Almagro, Gandara at Tagapulag. Maglalaan din ang DOLE ng higit 5 milyong piso para sa ating daan, para sa 161 benepisyaryo, 5.08 million pesos para sa 161 beneficiaries sa ilalim naman ng Integrated Livelihood Program. At higit 650,000 piso para naman sa 85 na lalahok sa government internship program. Hindi rin po magpapahuli ang Agricultural Credit Policy Council ng DA na magbibigay ng 35 milyong piso bilang credit fund para sa Northern Samar Multipurpose Cooperative at Rural Bank ng Calbayog City. Ito po ay ang kasama po sa regular na programa ng ating pamahalaan. At yan talaga ay nasa budget po ng DOLE, ng DA, ng DSWD, pati ng DALG, lahat po yan ay nasa ilalim po ng naka-schedule na program. Ngunit, noong aming tinitignan, yung tulong na dadalhin namin, alam ko kung gaano kahirap ang dinadaanan ng ating mga magsasaka at saka ating mga mangingisda dahil nga sa El Nino. Kaya sinubukan namin, naghanap kami, maghanap kayo ng dagdag na pondo para mas malaki naman ang maibibigay natin na tulong. Kaya mula naman sa tanggapan ng Pangulo, kami po ay magpapaabot ng tig 10,000 piso sa ating mga magsasaka, mangingisda at ilang pamilya mula sa Samar, Eastern Samar at Northern Samar. Sa kabuuan, mahigit 75 milyong piso ng assistance ang aming ibibigay sa 3 probinsya ng Samar Island. Mga kababayan, naunawaan po namin na ang hamon na kinakaharap ninyo araw-araw, lalo sa sektor ng agrikultura at sa pangingisda, na siyang haligi ng ekonomiya ng Samar. Kaya po patuloy namin tinutugunan ang inyong mga pangangailangan upang makatulong sa inyong pagbangon mula sa dinaanan nating hirap ng tagtuyot. Isa sa mga tinututukan natin ay ang pagsasaayos ng infrastruktura dito sa Samar upang lalo pang umunlad ang inyong ekonomiya. Ang mga nasira, may ilang bahagi ng Maharlika Highway ang nasira ay isang malaking problema para sa mga naninirahan dito. Kaya naglaan po tayo ng mahigit 1.4 bilyon piso para ayusin at pagpapanatili ng kalsadang ito. Inaasahan natin na mabilis na matatapos ang mga pangunahang proyekto sa Maharlika Highway mula November 2024 hanggang Marso ng 2025. Bukod po rito, atin din palalawakin ang ilang mga kalsada dito sa Samar upang mabawasan at mapabuti ang daloy ng transportasyon. Ang Base, Marabot, Pinamitinan Road at Right Top Borongan Road ay kasalukuyan ng ginagawa. Umaasa ako na tututukan ito ng DPWH upang masiguro na matapos ito sa lalong madaling panahon. Maliban po rito, ang paggawa ng Katbalogan Drainage System na nakakahalaga ng 100 milyong piso ay sa kasalukuyan ay umaarangkada na upang maiwasan ang pagbaha sa syudad ng Calbayog. Sa ibang dako naman, alam natin lahat na patuloy pa rin kinakaharap ng Samar ang hamon ng insurhensya. Isa ito sa mga balakid sa tuluyang pag-unlad ng inyong lalawigan. Ganun pa man, malayo na po ang narating natin. 5 municipality ang deklarado na may stable internal peace and security status. Nagpatupad tayo ng 186 na community support program at tinulungan ang 63 dating rebelde na sumuka at nagbagong buhay na. Ang mga pagsisikap na ito ay ginagawa po natin upang mahikayat pa ang mga ibang rebelde na magbalik loob na at maging produktibong bahagi ng ating lipunan. Kaya ang hiling ko sa inyo na suportahan ang mga hakbang na ito upang masiguro natin na mag-ugat ang kapayapaan at kaunlaran dito sa Samar. Mga mahal kong kababayan, ang inyong pamahalaan ay namumuhunan sa makabagong infrastruktura, gumagawa ng mga pagkakataon ng pangkabuhayan at nagpapatupad ng kapayapaan at kaayusan sa inyong lugar. Ang lahat na ito ay naglalayong lumikha ng mas maunlad na hinaharap para sa probinsya ng Samar, sa rehiyon ng Eastern Visayas at sa mga mamayan na nakatira dito. Sa atin naman, mga magsasaka at mangingisda, kayo ang buhay ng lalawigan na ito, ang ating buong bansa. Ang inyong kasipagan at katatagan ang nagbibigay ng inspirasyon sa aming lahat. Nandito kami upang tulungan kayong umunlad na sa binubuo nating isang bagong Pilipinas. Sama-sama natin pagsikapan para ikatutupad na natin ang lahat ng ating mga pangarap. Mabuhay ang ating mga magsasaka, manguhay ang ating mga mangingisda, mabuhay ang pamilyang Pilipino sa bagong Pilipinas.
And you just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Bringing the whole-of-government approach to areas greatly affected by El Nino in previous months, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. headed to the municipality of Palo in Leyte Province to provide assistance to Region 8 or Eastern Visayas. Select beneficiaries composed of farmers and fisherfolk from the provinces of Leyte, Biliran, and Southern Leyte received 10,000 pesos each from the President to aid them from the devastating effects of El Nino. Farm machineries, equipment, and various government projects are also given to identified recipients of the Department of Agriculture or DA, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources or BFAR, Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD, Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE, and Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA, while the Office of House Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez provided 5 kilos of rice to each attendee. Furthermore, the Chief Executive handed out presidential assistance amounting to 17,020,000 pesos to the provincial government of Leyte, 13,680,000 pesos to the provincial government of Biliran, and 10,310,000 pesos to the provincial government of Southern Leyte to support these areas as they recover from the crisis and rebuild the livelihoods of their people. Let us listen to Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s speech during the event.
Nagtitipon-tipon po tayo ngayon para magkaisa, para sa muling pagbangon ng mga magsasaka, mangingisda at kanilang mga pamilya dito sa Leyte, sa Southern Leyte at saka sa Biliran. Ang nagdaan na El Nino ay nagdulot ng malaking pinsala sa kabuhayan ng ating mga kababayan dito sa inyong lugar. Ayon sa aming mga datos, higit 23 milyong piso na pananim ang napinsala dito sa Region 8 na ikinalugi ng higit 500 magsasaka. Hindi sa Region 8 to. Ito is for the Leyte provinces, Biliran, Southern Leyte at saka Leyte. Kaya naman, sa okasyong ito, minabuti ng inyong pamahalaan na bibisita sa inyo upang magbigay ng suporta na nakabangon kayo muli para sa inyong kabuhayan. Mula po sa tanggapan ng Pangulo, kami po ay magbibigay ng tigsa 10,000 piso tulong sa bawat magsasaka. Ito po ay bukod pa doon sa mga ibang programa na ibinibigay, yung programa ng Department of Agriculture, meron silang ibinibigay na assistance, yung DSWD, may binibigay ang assistance, pati DILG, ay meron din sa sariling programa, kasama rin ang DOLE, ang DTI, para naman, lahat nga, kagaya ng aking sinasabi, ay lahat ng makakatulong na department ay isinasama namin sa programa. Ngunit, nung tinitignan namin, at tinitignan ko ang sitwasyon ng ating mga magsasaka, ay sinabi ko, mabuti na meron tayong maibigay. Ngunit, siguro, kung makahanap pa tayo ng pondo, ito, magdagdagan pa natin para mas maganda, mas malaki ang magbigay natin na tulong. Kaya po, galing po ito sa Office of the President na tig sa 10,000 na tulong para sa mangingisda at sa kanilang at magsasaka mula sa Leyte, Southern Leyte at Biliran. Ang suma total po, may higit 40 milyong piso ang aming iiwan sa inyong mga lokal na pamahalaan na siyang mamumuno sa pamamahagi ng mga tulong na ito. Bukod po rito, magdadala po kami ng marami pang tulong at saka iba't ibang serbisyo. Una po riyan, ang 5 kilo ng bigas para sa bawat na dumalaw sa ating ngayong araw na ito. Galing naman sa opisina ng ating House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Ang DSWD naman ay mamamahagi ng 10,000 piso para sa 1,500 benepisyaryo mula sa inyong 3 lalawigan. Nandito rin po ang DOLE upang mamahagi ng higit 6 na milyong piso sa ilalim ng TUPAD program para sa mga benepisyaryo mula sa Western at Southern Leyte, pati na rin sa Biliran. Ang TESDA naman ay may handog na higit 305,000 piso para sa training allowance para sa pagsasanay ng ating mga magsasaka na nais maging healthcare workers. Mamamahagi din po sila ng 20 starter toolkit para sa pagsasanay ng ating mga benepisyaryo at mag-aalok ng enrollment para sa ilang technical vocational program, mga TechVoc program po natin ng ahensya ng TESDA. Kasama din po natin ngayon ang ating mga TESDA scholars at saka farm schools na nagpapakitang gilas sa kanilang mga natutunan at mag-aalok ng ilang produkto. Para naman po sa ating mga mangingisda, magbibigay ang BIFAR ng 30 bangka na dimotor, mga materyales at feeds para sa pag-aalaga ng bangus at tilapia at ilang kagamitan para sa pagpapalaki ng seaweeds naman. Di po magpapahuli ang DA na may sari-saring handog para sa ating mga magsasaka tulad ng rice combine harvester, hauling truck, tractor, hand tractor, reapers, rice thresher, yung modified abacus stripping knife, multi-cultivators, rain shelters, nurseries, composting tools, packing sheds, at marami pang iba. Yung iba po nasa labas, hindi na po natin napuntahan dahil ang lakas ng ulan. Ngunit nandyan po ang iilan, hindi lang po yan yung nandyan ang nasa labas. Kung hindi, ito ay para mapakita lang kung ano ba ang dala ng DA. Kabilang sa ating ipapatupad para lalo pang mapayabong ang agrikultura ng Southern Leyte ay isang proyekto para sa produksyon ng itlog, isang proyekto para sa produksyon ng gulay at isang module ng poultry building facility na mayroong incubator, may pampakain feeds at 500 manok. Maglalaan din po ang DA ng pondo para sa pagpapalawig ng agri-negosyo at kadiwa sa Leyte, sa Southern Leyte at sa Biliran. Nais ko ring ibalita ang progreso ng ilan sa ating mga proyekto na magdadala ng pagbabago dito sa lugar natin. Isa na po rito ang ating patuloy ng pagsasaayos ng Tacloban Airport na nagkakahalaga ng higit 2.5 bilyong piso. Nung dinaanan namin, nung naglanding kami sa itong magiging lumang airport, pinapakita sa akin ni Speaker, kanya malapit na matapos ito. Baka next year pwede na nating inaugurate yung terminal. So, malapit na talaga. Matagal nang linalakad ng speaker ninyo ito. Mabuti naman at sa wakas, makikita na natin. Ating ginagawa ang passenger terminal building, ang airport runway, at karagdagan daan sa airport habang pinapalawak natin ang buong paliparan. Hangad natin na sa pagdating ng 2026, matatapos na ito at magdadala ng mas maayos at mas mabilis na serbisyo sa ating mga kababayan. Bukod dito, nandyan din po ang Tacloban City Causeway na magpapabilis ng biyahe mula sa syudad papuntang paliparan. Ang sabi sa akin na kapag natapos na ito, mula sa airport hanggang sa City Hall, 5 minutes na lang daw. Ngayon, mahaba-haba ng konti, pero pagka matapos na yan, napakabilis na ng daloy ng trapiko, hindi na dadaan doon sa coastal road, kung hindi, papasok na diretso na sa City Hall ang baba. Ang mga proyektong ito ay hindi lamang para sa pagpapaunlad ng infrastruktura sa inyong lalawigan. Kung hindi, ito ay pagtiyak din sa seguridad at katiwasayan ng inyong komunidad. Sa pagtutulungan ng ating kasundaluhan at kapulisan, patuloy tayong nagdadagdag ng puwersa sa ilang lugar sa Leyte upang mapanatili ang katahimikan at kaayusan dito sa atin. Higit sa lahat, ang ating patuloy na pagkakaisa ang magdadala sa atin tungo sa mas magandang bukas. Ang bawat tulong na ating binibigay, ang bawat proyekto na ating itinatapos ay patunay na sa ating pagsisikap na itataguyod na mas maliwanag na kinabukasan para sa bawat Pilipino. Sa pamamagitan ng ating sama-samang pagsisikap, tiyak na magiging matagumpay tayo sa pagharap sa anumang hamon. Magpatuloy tayong naglilingkod ng buong puso at buong sigasig at sama-sama natin abutin ang mas magandang kinabukasan para sa bawat isa.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Friday distributed various assistance to identified farmers, fisherfolk, and local families in a ceremony in the municipality of Patikul, Sulu Province. The President personally handed over cash assistance amounting to 10,000 pesos to select farmers and fisherfolk affected by the El Niño phenomenon, as well as 10 million pesos of financial aid to the provincial government of Sulu for distribution to the remaining beneficiaries. The distribution of assistance underscores the government's commitment to addressing the needs of its agricultural and fishing communities, as well as supporting local families. Let us listen to Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s speech during the event.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum kaniyo katang. Ikanalulugod ko na makasama kayo ngayong araw mula sa mga magsasaka, mula sa mga at di alintana ang matinding sikat ng araw para masaganang ani, hanggang sa mga mangingisda na nakikipagsapalaran sa ating mga karagatan para maganda ang huli. Narito kami ngayon upang ihatid sa inyo ang tulong ng pamahalaan. Umagapay sa inyong pagbangon mula sa mga pagsubok na dala ng El Niño at upang mapakinggan ang inyong mga suliranin. Nais ko rin na personal na iparating sa inyo ang aking paghanga sa inyong mayamang kultura, lalo na sa inyong sining, likha, musika at kaugalian. Mula sa badyo at sawal na ginagamit ng inyong kalalakihan hanggang sa patadyong na sinusuot ng nakarami. Hindi maikaila ang inyong angking talento at kasanayan sa paghakabi, pati na sa pag-uukit. Kaya talaga naman nakakatuwa na napanatili ninyo ang kultura na pinamana sa inyo ng mga inyong ninuno sa kabila ng mga siglong lumipas. Naway ang tulong na dala namin ngayon ay magpalakas sa inyong mga kabuhayan at magpatibay palalo sa inyong isang lalawigan. Kung matatandaan po ninyo, Oktubre noong nakaraang taon, naghatid ng ayuda at iba pang halagang serbisyo ang ating Special Assistant, si Secretary Anton Lagdameo, at ang ating DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian. Matapos ang 9 na buwan, ako naman ang bibisita rito upang bigyang pansin ang kalagayan ng 19 na bayan sa inyong lalawigan na napailalim sa state of calamity dulot ng El Niño. Ayon sa aming datos, mahigit 5 milyong piso halaga ang pananim na nasira dito sa inyong lugar, na ikanalugi naman ng humigit kumulang 912 na magsasaka. Hindi namin kayo iiwan sa pagharap sa pagsubok na ito. Kaya kami ay makakapagbahagi ng ayuda upang makabangon kayo muli at higit pang mapayabong ang inyong pamumuhay. Bilang panimula, 10 milyong piso ang magmumula sa aking tanggapan upang ipamahagi sa halagang tigsa 10,000 piso para sa mga magsasaka at mangingisda sa Sulu na naapektuhan ng El Niño. Sa ilalim naman ng ayuda sa kapos ng kita program ng DSWD, makakatanggap ang mahigit 5,000 magsasaka at mangingisda ng cash assistance na nasa 10,000 piso naman. Mula naman sa opisina ng ating speaker, kasama po dito kaya po ang tawag po namin is whole of government approach. Pati House of Representatives, pati Congress, sinama na namin. Kaya mula sa office ng House Speaker Martin Romualdez, meron din lahat ng dumalo rito na nagtipon sa atin ay mabibigyan ng tigli 5 kilo ng bigas. Andiyan na yung mga iba na nakita ko na. Kasama din natin ang Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Agrarian Reform na maghahandog sa inyo ng karagdagang makinarya at kagamitan sa pagsasaka. Ngunit, hindi po dyan nagtatapos ang handog namin sa inyo. Kasabay ng pagbibigay namin ng ayuda ay ang magandang balita tungkol sa ating pagsusulong para sa Jolo Airport Development Project. Kasalukuyan na po natin binabalangkas ang lahat ng kinakailangan para masimulan na ang proyektong ito. At may nakahanda po tayong 100 milyong piso na para pagsimulaan nitong project na ito. Sa dako naman ng patuloy na nangyayaring illegal fishing sa karagatan ng Sulu, umaaksyon na po ang ating kapulisan at sa pamunguna ng Sulu Maritime Police Station upang magpatrolya at mabantayan ang ating yamang dagat. Sa ating mga lokal na pamahalaan, patuloy po ninyong suportahan ang ating kolektibong pagsisikap upang maging mas maayos at ligtas ang ating mga minamahal na mangingisda. Mga kababayan, makaaasa kayong tutuparin namin ang aming pangakong matulungan kayong lahat, lalong-lalo na ang mga magsasaka, ang mga mangingisda at ang mga inyong pamilya. Upang naman masabi natin ay may pag-asang makamit ninyo ang mas maginhawang pamumuhay. Isa sa aking mga sinumpaan nung ako'y umupo na sa pagkapangulo ay ang tiyakin na maayos ang kalagayan ng ating mga kababayan na nagsisilbing pundasyon ng ating agrikultura. Hindi maitatanggi na kayo ang nagtatawid sa ating pang-araw-araw na pangangailangan. Subukin man kayo ng panahon at sitwasyon, ginagawa pa rin ninyo. Kayo ang patunay na ang pagtutulungan at malasakit sa kapwa ang susi tungo sa tunay na nagkakaisang lipunan. Tunay ngang sa inyong nakasalalay ang kinabukasan, hindi lamang ng ating mga kababayan dito sa Sulu, kung hindi pati na rin ang ating mga mamayan sa iba't ibang sulok ng buong Pilipinas. Kaya naman, sa bagong Pilipinas, magiging kaagapay ninyo kami upang mapalago pa ang inyong sektor at mabigyang katuparan ang inyong mga pangarap. Umaasa din ako na makikiisa kayo sa amin sa pamamagitan ng pagiging mas masinop at maingat sa paggamit ng inyong mga natanggap na ayuda. Siguraduhin din ninyong napapalagaan ang wasto ang ating kalikasan at huwag abusuhin ang paggamit ng ating mga pinagkukuhanan ng yaman. Huwag kayong mag-alinlangan na lumapit po sa tanggapan ng Pangulo at sa inyong mga lokal na pamahalaan na sapagkat bukas po lagi ang aming mga pintuan upang pakinggan ang inyong mga suliranin at hinain. Sa ating patuloy na pagbabayanihan, naniniwala naman ako na agarang natin maitataguyod ang mas matatag, mas maunlad at mas masaganang bagong Pilipinas.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 15.640 MHz, 17.820 MHz, and 12.010 MHz. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang in Review. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.